Go.
Okay, so for this lab, this is the Super Worm Average Speed Lab. What we're gonna do is we're gonna calculate the average speed of a worm using time and distance measurements. You will need a worm that you're gonna get from your teacher. You need a ruler, a piece of paper, that's kind of a big piece of paper about this size, some markers that you'll use when you graph, a pencil, and you need to set up a boundary. So you're gonna make kind of an arena like this for your worm. And you also need a stopwatch. So for each group, you should have 2 people. You need 1 person to be the timer person, and you can use your cell phones for this. And you need 1 person to be like the tracker person who's gonna write on the arena. And to set up, what we'll do is you have it all set up like this, a boundary for your worm. And in the middle, you're gonna create a dot. This is your starting point, and you're gonna label it 0. When we begin, your timer person is gonna start the stopwatch, and they're gonna tell you every 10 seconds. And so every 10 seconds, they're gonna say like 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. And every time they get to a 10 second, you're gonna mark where the worm is on your paper. And you would do that by drawing a dot about the center of where the worm is. And then you're gonna label it like number 1, number 2, number 3, all the way until we get to 6 numbers, because we're doing this for 1 minute. So we'll demonstrate like this. So this is our starting point, and the timer person is going to start a watch, and you need to time it so that, here, I get a worm from your teacher, so that the timing and the laying down of the worm are at the exact same time. Okay, so tell me when.
Ready, go.
Okay. Okay.
Ten seconds.
Okay, number 1. See where he goes now.
20 seconds.
Okay, where he is there. Number 2. It's important to have these boundaries.
30 seconds.
Okay, number 3.
Forty seconds.
Number 4.
$50 seconds.
Okay, did not move much. Number 5.
$60 seconds.
Okay, so you really didn't move much between number 5 and number 6, but that's fine. Just still label it. After you get your 6 points down, you can take the worm and give it back to your teacher. So here you go. Okay, so at this point, you have your points that the worm traveled, and you're gonna use your ruler and you're gonna connect the dots like this. So you're gonna go from the starting position to number 1. So just take your ruler so you have pretty lines. And you can see this here. Move these books out of the way. Okay, 3 to 4. Let's try to use dot to dot. So 4 to 5 and 5 to 6, which is, didn't travel very far here. Okay, so now you have the path that your worm took. Go ahead at this point and make a line all the way across your paper like this. We're gonna divide the arena. And you wanna give yourself as much space as you can, and then you're gonna divide again. And this is where you're gonna put the graphs. So you have 2 graphs that you're gonna be creating in this lab. So we'll have 2 different graphs here, and this is our path that our worm took. You have here your lab. And so what we're gonna do, the goal today is to get your data for sure, which means you need to get this data table written. So you're gonna fill in the data table. Your time is gonna be 10 seconds, 20 seconds, and then all the way down to 60 seconds. your position of origin. So what you're doing is you're measuring in centimeters. Remember, centimeters are the smaller numbers on the ruler. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna measure from your starting point to like number 1, and I'm gonna say that's, I'll say 9.4 centimeters for that, 9.4. And then you also go from 2 to your starting point. So for the position of origin, you're gonna always go back to where you started. So for this one, you'll go from 0 to 2, and I'm gonna say that's about 12.5 centimeters. Position here, 0 to 3 is about 15 centimeters. Position 4, so it's always going back to your point of origin. This is about 17.2. Your position 5 is about 18.8. And then your position 6, this was about 18.2. So I went back a little bit. Your distance is going to be all of these added together. Well, so how about this? It'll be from 0 to 1 to start. 0 to 1 is, let's see, about 9.2. But then we're gonna go from 1 to 2. So we're adding these all up. And this is about 5.5. And then we're gonna go from 2 to 3. So you see how we're adding all of these together, 2 to 3. This time is about, I don't know, 4.8. 3 to 4 is about 4.4. Let's see, 4 to 5 is much smaller. Say 1.9, and then 5 to 6 was kind of a small, so exactly 1 centimeter. Your average speed is your distance divided by your time. So you're gonna take your distance, like right here, and you're gonna divide it by your time. Is that right? We're gonna take your total distance. Oh yeah, so average speed is total distance over total time. This is your total distance. This was just your positional distance. So let's do this one. Your total distance over your time, 10 seconds. So you'll have to use your calculator for that. So distance over time, and you'll fill this in. Once you get that done, you can do your graphs, and we'll talk about the graphs tomorrow. So I think that's good for now, okay?